shows. Every scene's a high and low. You'll unwind.
This is JordangeVision. Pull up a seat and kick up your feet. Welcome, guys. It's time for another movie reaction, and this was going to be my Black History Month movie. But things got slowed down a little bit. I had a bit of a busy week in February, which kind of slowed down my production a little bit. I don't think I'm getting this in by the end of February, unfortunately, but I still wanted to do this movie. It's a movie I've wanted to watch for a while. It was a movie that was made a couple years ago, 3 years ago, I guess, actually. I keep forgetting it's 2025 now. We are going to watch the movie Till. So what Till is about, again, it was made in 2022. And it's based on something that happened in 1955. A 14-year-old boy named Emmett Till, who is from Chicago, but is staying with relatives in Mississippi. He has some kind of interaction with a young woman shopkeeper inside a store. It's not really well known what exactly happened. There might have been some whistling, there might have been some catcalling, there might have been some even some unwanted touching. I'm not sure exactly what happened, and I don't think anyone alive actually does. Whatever it was that happened was enough to make this young woman uncomfortable for some reason. She ends up telling her husband, and her husband is furious. He rounds up his half-brother, and they track this young 14-year-old black boy down and just beat him to death. So that's the story of how Emmett Till passed away. I believe the movie touches on that, and the movie, I believe, is also about kind of the aftermath of how his family, mainly his mother, Mamie Till, kind of pursues justice after that. It's 1955, slavery's long gone, but there's still lots of segregation. Blacks and whites can't sit on the same seats on a bus. They can't use the same water fountains. They can't use the same bathrooms. So this was just kind of around the civil rights movement where blacks were fighting to get their rights back, and this is just one of those many stories. I'm not sure exactly what it was that happened to the two men who killed Emmett Till, but apparently it wasn't all that suiting, because the mother wanted revenge and spent years trying to get that revenge and trying to get that justice. I'm not really familiar with most of the cast. Let me just pull up the cast list here. Mamie Till is played by Danielle Deadwyler. The young boy Emmett Till is played by Jalen Hall. Whoopi Goldberg is in the cast. She plays Emmett Till's grandmother and Mamie's mother. Sean Patrick Thomas is a name that I think is a little familiar. He plays Mamie Till's boyfriend at the time. But yeah, I'm very intrigued to get into this movie and learn a little more about this story. It is a story I've heard before. But I've never really seen it played out on the big screen or anything like that. So without further ado, let's get into watching Till. Here we go. Before I get started, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and don't forget, reacting to art is sharing art. Channels like these benefit everyone from the viewers all the way up to the original creators themselves. Also, a reminder, spoilers are likely, so if you haven't seen this movie yet and would like to, please feel free to click off and take care of that first. I'll be here when you get back. But for those of you who are sticking with me, pull up a seat, kick up your feet. This is the movie Till. Here we go. Okay, I've heard this song before. Not by these guys, but I imagine that is Mamie Till. Oh, and that's him. This is how they get us. They just show this nice family moment, and then we know what's about to happen. So to see them so happy right now is so bittersweet. Something's getting her upset. This might be when she's dropping him off. Yep, August 1955. Okay, so we're not in Mississippi yet, so...
I think I like this one.
Will you really need a wallet while you're down there?
Oh, Mama, please.
I mean, what else are you gonna keep your stuff in? He doesn't really have IDs and stuff, but kids can have wallets. Better than having all your money loose. I imagine back then there's a lot more coins, too.
I love Bosco, it's rich in chocolate tea. Chocolate flavored Bosco is mighty good for me.
Oh, this is just so cute.
My man.
He knows the whole thing.
You stuttered not one time.
Yep, that's
now,
Whoopi.
Bo, you know it's time for you to go to bed.
Oh.
You know you got a big day tomorrow.
They aged Whoopi up so much.
I'll see you when you get back.
Bring it in.
And I mean, Whoopi's got to be close to 70 right now, so...
You two don't get married before I get back.
Can't get married without my best man. Good night.
I just love this family already.
I'll call you.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Mom is so nervous. I wonder if she's having premonitions or if, she's just had
What's
experiences
wrong,
like that
baby?
before.
We've never been apart this long.
Yeah.
He's just going to see his cousins. It's not a bad thing for him to know where he come
Well,
from.
Chicago is all he needs to know. I don't want him seeing himself the way those people are seen down there.
So it's
Those
his
people
first
like
time.
me. Bo is growing up. You gonna have to let him go.
Well, she's right in
Get you
principle,
some
but
rest, too.
we know what happens.
Come on, baby.
These are almost nothing scenes, you know, just the scene of the mom tucking him in, but it just makes what we're waiting for more excruciating, if you get my drift. Oh, yeah.
When he shut up,
Dressed up all nice to see the family.
I got this ready for you.
Oh, yeah. Pre-tie tie.
Can plainly see it was dragging him out of the groove.
Oh. Come on, don't make me love this kid anymore.
When you get down
Oh,
there,
not again, Mama. I've already been in Mississippi.
only one time
Oh,
before,
so he has.
and they have a different set of rules for Negroes down there. Are you listening?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to be extra careful with white people. You can't risk looking at them the wrong way.
I know.
Unfortunately true at that time in history.
Be small down there.
Like this?
Maybe not like that.
Instead of your father's ring, how about you wear the cufflinks we got you last Christmas? They'll look so handsome on you.
Oh,
Oh.
Mama.
He doesn't want to wear
I know the
cufflinks.
ring.
That was like an army envelope, too. Is his father in the army? I mean, that's way more badass than a set of cufflinks.
Thank you. Wheeler.
Morning, Mamie.
Morning,
Ah.
Preacher. Good morning, Wheeler.
Hi, Miss Mamie.
Taking
Hi,
a
Bo.
train.
You'll leave. Auntie Lizzie, make sure Bo calls and writes every chance he gets. I need to know he's okay.
Don't worry, me, Lizzie, and the boys will have a stern eye on him. Goodbye, Mamie.
I'd like to believe that.
You didn't kiss me goodbye.
Mama, I gotta go.
Come on, kiss your mom.
Listen to be extra careful.
I already know. You know
If only
what?
he did.
I won't need to keep the time on my vacation. Wind it every day.
Giving his mom his watch.
Bye-bye.
She's already got a bad feeling. I've never really traveled a long way by train. Like, I've only taken trains like short distances, but...
Time to move now.
Oh. Is he in the wrong seat? Or in the wrong section of the bus? But yeah, as I was saying, I've never really, like, traveled across the country on a train before, so it must be nice to just see the sights and see nature and all that.
Now, all you gotta do is pinch the brat right here so you don't get your fingertips stuck.
Hey, look at the size of that bird.
I don't think that's a bird.
Where'd you get that ring?
Oh, it was my daddy's.
Oh,
He
yeah.
died, the hero in the war.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let me try it on.
Yeah.
Maybe later.
Yeah, keep an eye on that ring, bud. Well,
Bo?
I hope so.
Roar! From the depths
Yeah.
of an ancient tomb.
Just playing around.
Meet the mummy, Simmy!
You're gonna get us in trouble.
Or better yet, fired. I'm done picking these fields.
Yeah. Doesn't really want this job.
Sell it. Mr. Frederick, who owned the land, take his share. I'll go to market with our haul.
Sounds pretty square.
Pa, you gonna let us ask you that way?
What way? The boy doesn't know where his clothes come from.
True enough, I guess. Alright. The old men playing checkers cliche.
Yes, he is. Damn near passed out.
Best work day ever.
Well, I'm about raised from the dead by all this excitement.
Wants to know where all the 14-year-old kids hang out. Gonna see if this is the store where it happens.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, this is probably her.
You look like a movie star. What?
Not wrong, she's in a movie, but...
See?
Oh, they do kind of look alike. It's escaping me who's actually in that picture, but...
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah?
Oh. So again, I don't think most people actually know what happened, but that's how they're portraying it, and that was relatively tame.
She getting the gun. She getting the gun, yo. Come on. Move.
Oh, I hope she's not getting her gun just for that.
She going to get the gun, y'all.
Get in.
Oh man. I mean, whether she's actually getting a gun or not, like, yeah, she's holding something. Like, if that's all the interaction was, like, I wonder how they knew where to find this kid. Just keep watching, I guess. Yeah, she's just doing nothing but thinking about him. Hi, Mom. No, I haven't had any guns pointed at me since I've been here.
Is everything okay?
That trip we plan to take Bo on. Let's go now.
Oh. Okay, so, kind of a distraction for her.
We have never been apart this long, and he's gonna be gone another week. I need to keep doing things to take my mind off of this feeling.
Yeah, so she wasn't even at home when all this happened. She was
Okay.
somewhere else.
We'll try in a few days.
Promise me, we'll go on the trip.
Of course.
Okay. Spontaneous vacation time.
Look, it's been 3 days, okay, and we haven't heard nothing more about what I did in money.
That's because no one knows your face around here. That don't mean they not one of them cars looking for us.
We all agreed we wouldn't say anything.
How make Bobo go home?
So what? Been going
I mean,
on
that's
around
pretty
here.
mild, but...
They killing Negroes for doing way less than what you did in money. You ain't no white man, Bobo. You one of us.
Hey, leave him alone, Maurice. Mrs. Bryant must have kept it to herself.
They do absolutely nothing else, then he's probably in the clear. I wonder if someone screwed it up for him.
I got a letter today from Auntie Lizzie. She said Bo was really happy. That's all I needed to hear.
That's real good, Mimi. My boy
He's having
Curtis
fun.
just made it down to...
Oh, he just doesn't understand how different things are down there. Auntie Lizzie said Bo's been working the fields.
Such a foreign concept to her.
Bo in the hot sun all day pulling some cotton. But Auntie
Yeah, I guess
Lizzie
you don't
said
really
I
have
was
that in
one of
Chicago.
his heart. Gene and I want to take a trip soon, but I really want to go down to Mississippi and bring my son home. I don't know why I said that.
Premonitions.
It's like a little...
Well, look at that.
You want to play one more hand?
Sure.
Come on.
But you deal this time.
Win her money back.
You still gonna lose.
Don't get too cocky now. I've heard that name before. I don't know much about that guy, but yeah, I heard his murder was a big deal too.
We leaving early tomorrow to mail that letter out to your mama, you hear?
Okay. Good night.
He rode to his mommy. They thought he'd been caught or something, though. He's just like, how did they find out? Another one of those scenes where it seems like nothing happens, but it's just setting up what eventually does. Uh-oh. Is this them right now?
Who is it?
Mr. Bryant, I want to talk to you about that boy.
Mr. Bryant. Yeah, I think this is the guy.
Sir?
I want that boy who did the talking down in money.
Talking, sir? What talking?
Open up this door, preacher.
This is where you say no?
Bobo, wake up.
Leave me alone.
Get up, someone's
Aw.
come.
On, hide him in a closet.
I don't know what you mean, Mr. Bryant.
You got that boy from Chicago.
How does he know the kid's life story already? They interacted for like 2 minutes.
Who are you?
Get your clothes on.
No?
Mr. Bryant, you ain't got to do this. You're just a young boy.
Better shut them eyes.
Yeah, this is when you call the police and say, you know, I have mad people in my house.
I don't wear shoes without socks.
Oh. Of all the things to be worried about right now.
But Mr. Bryant!
What'd you say to my brother?
Just one of those moments where they feel powerless, you know?
Next one.
I just can't believe that it's gone this far. They already know he's not coming back. Aw. Well, thank you for not showing this. Like maybe it's so gruesome they can't even show it realistically. I know something bad's going on.
Hello?
Get out of the way, Gene. I gotta get the money.
Money?
I gotta
Money,
get the
man,
money.
what's going on?
They took Bo.
He's gonna bring them back to you, baby.
Oh.
Yes.
They're just so hopeful.
Raphael Moody. Came by the house a lot when you was a kid. He works with some powerful Negro people who can help us find Bo.
Oh, I hope
It's been
so.
a long time.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Don't be sorry,
for
girl.
coming, Mr. Moody.
I've been in touch with Mr. William Huff, counsel for the NAACP chapter here in Chicago.
Do we even know what happened to him yet? Well, we do, but do they? Aw. And that's the song he was singing at the beginning. Don't do this to yourself. Just everything's got a reminder of him. I'm gonna keep playing it all over again, yep. I mean, if it was me, I'd probably do the same thing, but...
You two aren't married?
No.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, they're engaged, I think.
Where's
I
his
think they eventually do get married.
Louis Till died overseas about 10 years ago, during the war.
And Mr. Bradley?
You have a lot of questions for me, Mr. Huff, and none of them seem to have anything to do with my son.
Go get him.
We're currently investigating the murders of Lamar Smith and Reverend Lee. They did a lot of work getting Negroes registered to vote. Because of what happened to them, the Negro press in Mississippi started to write about Emmett's kidnapping. But it's not creating enough pressure needed to force them into a statewide search.
You'd think. Someone's kidnapped, you go look for the kid.
You'll have to talk to reporters. Speak in front of cameras.
It's amazing how this time they were just treated
We'd
like
like to make
second-class
sure
citizens,
that-
you know?
The Reverend and Mr. Lee, I heard they were killed right before Bo got down there.
Maybe.
I know these citizen councils are everywhere in Mississippi. You think they had a part in any of it?
It's to stop
Just a couple of
Negroes
lunatics.
from voting. Why do you call him Bo?
I've been wondering that too, actually.
When I was carrying him, my mama's friend would bring him gifts all the time and say, "Here's another one for little Bobo."
That doesn't really explain it, but I guess he just has a nickname. Okay. Well, it's in the papers, that's a start. I think that's a Chicago paper. I can see go. Getting it in Mississippi paper might be a whole other animal.
And read about what happened to Emmett.
Yeah. So he's getting all the love in Chicago, but in Mississippi, where he's actually missing and in danger, they don't care.
The governor wants to talk to Mr. Huff about what happened to Bo. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for the update, Mr.
Which
Huff.
governor?
A reporter called me.
Hmm.
He didn't want to tell you himself.
Oh, they found him?
Bo's body was found in a river. Preacher just identified him to the sheriff. He recognized the ring Bo was wearing.
Ah, his dad's ring. Yeah, apparently that's the only way they could recognize him, too. Yeah. Just no words, man. Yeah.
We interrupt this broadcast to report
And here
a
it
breaking
comes.
news story. The body of Emmett Lewis Till has been found dead in a Tallahatchie River near Money, Mississippi.
Already in police custody after admitting to the kidnapping, but they now
Okay, so they got them quick. It would have been nice to see them, like, actually get arrested, but...
The state of Mississippi has decided to maintain this white supremacy by murdering children.
Yeah, it's just sick.
It was because they had to prove that they were superior. They had to prove it by taking away a 14-year-old boy.
I don't know how that proves you're superior of anything.
Because they know restraining
Just makes me sick, man.
Maybe.
calling on local and federal officials to investigate the murder and to indict J.W. Milam.
I'm just thinking they probably got them quickly because they were bragging about it. Like, they think they did something great and they just wanted to tell everybody, and they just think his life isn't worth anything, and yeah. So it's good that they got them quickly, but...
I need Bo's body sent back here. I can't have him buried in Mississippi.
Mississippi won't make that deal with you.
Then make them.
This is where he lives. This is where he should be buried.
Those people in Mississippi are trying to dump Bo in the ground like he's just another body. He is my baby. I need to see him.
Based on what I've heard, you're probably not going to like what you see. His body was, like, unrecognizable.
I'll speak with Mr. Huff.
The ring was the only way they could identify him.
It would be in a politician's best interest to help you during an election year.
Of course, it's an election year.
Some organizers and executive members of the NAACP have been speaking with the Justice Department about creating legislation that would make lynching a federal crime.
It's not already?
We have an opportunity to use this moment to help us pass this legislation. Might even help you get an indictment.
Just blows my mind that it's not a crime already.
See, this doesn't just have to be about Emmett.
Mr. Moody, my son is dead!
Just wants to have her boy taken care of. Just wants him to rest in peace
Make
after
sure Mr. Huff
the way
handles
he
this
died.
today.
It amazes me, too, that it's such a big deal for them to get his body back. Like, let the kid be buried where he lives.
Preacher called again. He keeps trying to apologize to you, maybe.
I mean, not much really he could do.
Up here, he has to stay behind to finish working.
They took him away at gunpoint, you know?
I keep asking myself, why is this happening?
Ooh.
Why did he take my child from me?
Because he's an awful man.
I'm the one who told him to go down there.
Oh. Not your fault, Grandma.
I told him to go down there. I told him to go there.
It's not any of the family's fault.
I told him to go down there.
He ran into a bad person. Sucks. It's probably around this time she was expecting to be at the train station, like, welcoming him home, but... Well, she's still welcoming him home, but not the way she wanted.
My boy! My boy, my only child! My only boy! He can't breathe.
And people are taking pictures of this. This should be the most private moment in her life, and just the paparazzi eating it up.
I need to prepare you.
Remove the sheet.
It's not gonna look good.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. They don't even want to show us. Oh. It's a kid, man. He's 14. He doesn't even look human anymore. It's like they dug up some rotting body from 2,000 years ago. How is it even possible to do that to someone? I know there's a picture that exists too of the actual body, and it looks just as gruesome.
Gee, can you go back to my place and bring back Emmett's black suit, the one he wore last Christmas? Emmett loved this suit. It's how he'd like to be seen.
Seen?
Yeah, she wants open casket.
Bo's in no kind of shape to be seen by anyone.
He's in just the right shape.
Yeah, she wants people to see
The
what they did.
whole world has to see what happened to my son.
Exactly.
Mrs. Bradley, can I at least fix him up a bit just to make him more...
No one's going to believe what I just saw. No, they have to see it for themselves.
It's not really heard of, but I understand her point completely. People need to know what just happened.
What would you like to say to the man who did this?
What's that smell?
That smell is my son's body. He came home to me reeking of racial hatred.
Yeah, what the hell kind of question was that? She had the perfect
Come
answer,
with me,
though.
please. Jean, please come be with me.
Yeah, but that picture was actually taken with a paper, and well, that's a recreation of the picture, but yeah, that picture does exist.
The right thing is to show America and the world exactly what happened.
We know the boy was killed, but you're making a freak show of his death.
Yeah, they're handing out flyers, open casket viewing.
Do you have any evidence bearing on this case?
I do know that this is my son.
Oh man, they're lined up for miles, man. Yeah, you gotta have the old pictures. Oh, the baby picture. Oh, I can't.
You're not just my boy anymore.
Oh, you belong to everybody in this room, man.
Auntie Lizzie. Sammy and Maurice stayed back with their daddy. It was probably too much.
Yeah, they witnessed enough, like seeing the kidnapping.
But no, I ain't going back, Mamie. I packed my stuff up.
She doesn't even want to go back there. I mean, it was probably similar stuff that got Grandma to move away from there, and now this was the tipping point for this family too.
It is well with my soul.
I mean, how do you just walk by something like that and go on with your day? Like, it's great that so many people in the community came to pay their respects. Like, it's not just his immediate family, but... That funeral would kill me. Like, if I was actually there... Okay. Okay, the men have been charged.
Child is dead. Carolyn Bryant is going to be fine.
Yeah, she wanted more for the woman, too. The woman's not the one who laid a hand on him, but...
Well, to get
I
a
get
murder
it.
indictment on 2 white men in Mississippi is not easy. You did that, Mamie.
Something to be proud of, especially
Now,
in that time.
Their defense is going to try to create doubt about the body being Emmett's.
There's no doubt.
Body, there's no murder conviction, and Bryant and Mellon will only face kidnapping charges.
There's no way they could pull that, right?
There is no testimony like a mother's.
You can do this, girl. Don't stop now.
I need to go to Mississippi for the trial. I can testify that it was Bo's body found in the river.
Who was it that found him with the ring? Like, they'd be able to testify to that even stronger, I think.
Jean, I have to go without you.
What?
Mr. Moody has arranged for me to meet some
If you're going to
people down
Mississippi,
there.
I'm going with
Mr.
you.
Huff and Mr. Moody don't think that's a good idea. And
I don't care
Why
what
not?
they think. They keep telling us what to do and who we can talk to, and I go along with it because I lost Bo, too. I would do anything for him.
Yeah, what's the big deal in this case? Like, why can't Jean go?
This is what they're writing about me down there.
Oh.
They're making me out to be some kind of Jezebel. 2 reporters called to ask about my ex-husbands and about you. I'm on trial like the people who killed Bo. Jurors will be watching me and reading these stories when they decide if the men who murdered my son go free.
She has to keep her boyfriend away for that?
You're not going to change your mind.
Ooh.
You know me well enough to answer that question for yourself.
I guess I can understand that, but it's gotta suck for him. And I know she doesn't want it either, but what she believes is the right thing to protect her image.
I can't understand how a civilized mother could put a dead body of a child on public display.
Victim blaming asshole.
The NAACP trying to make something big out of just an ordinary criminal affair in Mississippi.
Ordinary criminal affair? Yeah, fuck that guy.
You're not going.
Mamie, it's too dangerous for you to go down to Mississippi right now.
If my testimony can help in any way, I have to go. I have to be there.
I'm going with you.
Yeah.
I know this is not what we agreed on, but it's better for me to go down there with her than for her to be there alone.
I mean, this should be fine too, right? Shouldn't it?
I don't only need you when I'm broken, Daddy.
Yeah, there's some history. But yeah.
I am going with you.
He wants his redemption arc.
Mama, I know you don't agree.
No. But I know you have to do it.
So it's settled, I guess.
It's an all-Negro town. We run all our own businesses and all our own schools.
Okay.
All the Negroes attending the trial will be staying here.
Hopefully it's a good plan then.
Thank you for driving us, Mr. Evers.
Please, ma'am, call me Medgar.
Medgar Evers. Yeah, he's a civil rights leader who was assassinated a few years later. There was a movie about that too called Ghosts of Mississippi.
We are doing everything we can to get some sort of justice for Emmett Till.
Whoopi Goldberg was also in that movie. She played his wife.
We call Dr. Howard's
Another
house
great
the Black Man
Black History movie if you want to watch
Reported
that.
from all- This here's my son Daryl and my wife Merle.
It's an honor to meet you, Mrs. Bradley.
Let me just say that we are so honored to have you here with us.
It's a lot for her.
What are you drinking?
Hopefully not that water.
We need money to protect Negroes who are simply trying to exercise their constitutional right to vote.
Oh, that's right. They're not allowed to vote at this time either.
I never thought much about the world outside of just me and Bo.
Yeah.
My job, my family, my friends.
Yeah, sometimes you get a little bit of
Mrs.
tunnel
Bradley,
vision
have
and
you
then
thought about what you're
something
going to
happens.
do after
I've been sharing my story because I want those two men to pay for what they did.
And I do too.
Mm-hmm.
The
But he wants her to
justice
continue.
rendered by 12 jurors who look exactly like the two so-called men who are on trial.
Yeah, there's probably not going to be any black jurors at this time in history.
And your story must continue and will not end with one single verdict.
It's a lot for her to take in. All right. Are we at the big day?
Straight out the way.
Get away, you leeches.
You're still right there.
Oh, she's gonna talk
I
now.
am here to confirm.
Whoa! You little bastard. Who gave that to a little kid? Like, I know it's not a real gun, but...
How dare you?
It's all right, man.
Are they searching the white people? Something tells me they're not, but they better be.
I got about 8 seats down there for you and your reporters. Rest you can stand. You Mamie?
Yeah, who are
That's
you?
a damn summons. I thought you up at his could read.
Well, I guess she's testifying now.
Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Bradley. Mamie.
Yeah, speaks volumes,
There'll
man.
be no pictures. Have the jurors come in and take a seat. Also, give me a Coke sometime. All right?
Can't have the judge thirsty. Yeah. Just what I expected. 12 white men.
Your Honor,
I think it was the norm around that
state
time,
has
but
just
yeah.
learned of the existence of another witness to the murder of Emmett Till.
Another witness.
State
That seems like a reasonable request.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah. Let's get the witness in
I'll
here.
give you till we will resume at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
So, guess we're done for the day already? Oh, yeah. He's got a son.
Medgar, take me to money.
Make her think if it was your son. Here we are back where it all began.
The shop's been closed since the day of the arrest.
Oh, I was wondering. So, if the shop's closed, is she somehow going to get in there? Oh, yeah. Just picturing him in there. That would be so overwhelming, man. Okay, going to see the family now, I guess. Oh, that's a letter he wrote, right? Yeah, I guess he never got to send that.
Your mama tells me you all are moving up north after the trial.
Daddy says it's not gonna be safe.
Unfortunately, Daddy's probably right. Especially if those guys get convicted, there might be, like, retaliations and stuff. Did they have a gun before? Or did they just get the gun as a response to this?
Did you have a shotgun in your house the night they took Bo?
Yeah, that's what I think she was getting at.
White men
came knocking on
I
my
know
door,
that
Mamie.
part.
They had a gun.
You have a gun!
Did he have it then?
How long did you stand there doing nothing while they took my child?
If I'd have shot them, they would have killed all of mine. It'd be hunting season for every Negro in money.
Sadly true, but...
Bobo was with my boys when he went to talk to some white woman. You understand what that mean down here?
Don't you dare blame Bo for what happened to him.
I don't blame him.
Just a dangerous time to live. It's not their fault at all.
And you chose yours over mine.
It wasn't just two white men with a gun that night. It was every white man who'd rather see a Negro dead than breathing the same air as him.
Unfortunately, that's too true. Do you think he'd do it if he had it to do over again? Kind of a hard question, I guess.
No Negro in money has ever spoken against a white man and lived.
I don't doubt it.
That's the house. If he runs,
Oh.
make sure he doesn't get away.
They going after him?
We told you leave Willie alone.
Let's have a conversation inside.
He didn't see nothing.
Come out,
Oh.
or we're coming in.
Willie, who's that?
Hey! Hey!
Oh! I guess the witness is scared to testify. Yeah. Come on, buddy, we need this.
Willie's family also works for the Milam, so they also heard a lot of noise that night.
There's more witnesses.
It pains me to have to tell you this, but there were some colored men that were involved.
Yeah, they were probably ordered to be.
Colored men did this to my boy.
Well, they worked for Milam and Bryant and found out Bryant had them paid to skip town.
This guy's still around.
I can fix that for you.
Well, this is what she used to do for Emmett, too.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's probably a big deal to her to do that again.
I'm trying to keep the family together as much as possible these days.
Yeah.
I'm sure you heard about what happened to our friends Lamar Smith and Reverend Lee.
Yes.
Yeah, they knew each other,
I
yeah.
have.
Happening to too
You did
many
good
people, and
work.
it's gonna happen to
We
Medgar,
got a lot of
too.
Negroes. I believe in the work we're doing for our people, but I don't want my children to have to live in fear. Wait for
Shouldn't
Medgar
be
to
like
get
that.
home.
That's why this work is important.
I never raised him to have any fear growing up. I wanted him to be a boy and to not have his childhood taken away from him.
He was a boy right to the end.
We do the best we can.
Mrs. Evers hasn't experienced it yet, but she will.
He showed up at my door, standing there with a flashlight in one hand and a pistol in the other.
Yep.
And what happened next?
The whole family's there taking this in. Gotta be crazy on the young kids.
Then he dragged my nephew from my home and drove off.
Get that guy out of here.
Would you recognize Mr. Milo were you to see him again?
Oh, he'll never forget that face again.
There he is.
You're busted now,
The
asshole.
witness can leave now. The court will have a recess.
Yeah, get the witness some armed protection.
As they drove off, there was two white men in the cab and three colored men in the back.
Yeah.
They was all sitting next to a body.
They assembled an army.
That's what you heard. That's what you heard. Why not yell out or call help?
Would it have worked? Might have just drawn attention to
couldn't.
himself, I guess.
No further questions.
They don't like that answer, but dude's probably scared shitless.
Did you certify that the body found was Emmett Till?
No, I did not. I just said it was a dead body. You couldn't even tell if the body was white or black.
Yeah, so they're trying to push that it wasn't actually him.
You want my honest opinion? I think the boy's mammy and the NAACP plotted this whole thing.
Oh, don't do this. Kick his ass. Come on.
When your husband, the father of Emmett Till, was killed overseas, were his belongings sent to you?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Talking about the ring.
Now, a ring that has engraved on it May 25th.
It's her first time seeing it since.
1943. With the large initials LT. Was that among the items that were sent to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Here's your proof right there.
I wish you would stay to the court and to the jury whether you could identify the body that you saw down there in the funeral home as that of your son, Emmett Till.
I could.
She would know.
Please.
Yeah.
The first thing I noticed when I became a mother was that my hands were busy all the time.
Sounds
Rocking,
about right.
my hand knew him with my eyes closed. Just like I'd know his laughter in a crowded room.
Yep. That's
It's
what
the
I'm saying.
same
A mother
thing.
knows.
He was spoiled and puffed. But these were the same parts of a boy I'd nurtured and loved. Nothing and no one could hide him from me.
Mm-hmm.
A mother knows.
That's what I'm saying.
And I knew this was my boy, Emmett Till, beyond any doubt.
Probably not enough for all the naysayers, but I believe her.
Did you have an insurance policy on Emmett Till?
Yes, sir.
How much was it for?
I had a 10-cent and 15-cent policy, 2 weekly policies, and they equaled $400.
Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's almost 70 years ago.
You've been quoted in the colored press. I told him several times before he left Mississippi that he should kneel in the street and beg for forgiveness should he ever insult a white person.
You didn't say that.
Did you caution your son how to conduct himself and behave himself while he was down here in Mississippi?
Several times.
Several times. Do tell us how.
It's the victim blaming bullshit again.
I told him that if ever an incident should arise where there would be any trouble of any kind with white people, that if it got to the point where he needed to go down on his knees before them, well, I told him not to hesitate to do so.
Because y'all are racist and you'll
might
kill
get
him over
belligerent
anything.
or something.
Case in point.
Well, I told.
Now tell the court and the jury what this is.
What are we getting at here?
This picture is of my son after Mississippi sent him back to Chicago dead.
I don't know if the lawyer thought that was an own or what, but she did it. She did it.
They killed my son again.
They killed him again. They killed his body, and now they're trying to character assassinate him.
Will the jury please retire to the jury room? Testimony being offered here today of a prior incident at the store in Money is irrelevant.
The jury's not going to hear this?
Now, I see no harm in letting Miss Bryant share her side of things if she wants to.
The jury should hear it.
You don't think you can handle that, dear?
Yeah, being nice to her.
I was alone, but the children were in the back, in the living quarters.
And what time of day was it?
After dark,
Wasn't that dark, was it?
I was behind the counter. I asked the man what he wanted.
This 14-year-old boy.
Did he give you the money?
No, he caught my hand.
Will you show the court just how he grasped your hand?
She's making this up as she goes along at this point.
What did he say when he grabbed your hand?
Oh, this ought to be good.
How about a date, baby?
And he went on his way.
No.
Yes, he
He
did.
came after me. He caught me down by the cash register.
I imagine this is her husband, like,
Mr.
telling her what
Bryant.
to say, but
Grabbed your hands, pinned them behind your back.
anybody who was there, though, knows that didn't
Right
happen.
hand.
He said, "You needn't be afraid of me. I've been with white women before."
I'm ready to go.
You want me to come and get you when they read the verdict?
No. I'm ready to leave Mississippi. Now.
Oh, she's had enough.
What about the verdict?
I know what the verdict is.
Yeah.
Deliberating for about an hour, the jury has just come back with a verdict of not guilty.
Of course.
Thus, that they celebrated their victory, laughing and smiling with their wild
Disgusting. Well, you didn't get the justice you wanted, but your voice was heard.
Please welcome Mrs. Mamie Till Bradley.
Oh, she's older now. Okay, this is later.
I thank you, Mr. Muti, and the NAACP for inviting me to speak before you all in Harlem, New York City.
So she did become an
My son's
activist.
brutalized. If this country fails to protect the black body from hate, America has yet to meet her promise.
Exactly.
Either freedom for everyone or freedom fails.
All men are created equal.
1 month ago, I had a nice apartment in Chicago. I had a good job. I had a son.
Wait, this is only a month?
The lynching of my son has shown me that what happens to any of us, anywhere in the world, had better be the business of us all.
They work fast down there. They quit their murderers fast. Tell me those assholes are gonna get something, though. Even if it's not a criminal conviction, like, some kind of karma. Come on. Oh yeah, that's the watch he gave her. Oh, gonna play the song again. Yep. Be playing that song for the rest of her life. But yeah, now it's all over. It's really hitting her. Just having a vision. Oh, I see him in the mirror. Just remembering the good times. Yeah. Mamie's actions helped galvanize a movement that led to the passage of the 1957 Civil Rights Act. Medgar Evers would become a heroic leader in the Civil Rights Movement. 8 years after the trial, he was assassinated outside his home in front of Burley and their children. And yeah, again, another recommended movie, Ghosts of Mississippi. Less than 1 year after the trial, J.W. Milam and Roy Bryant confessed to murdering Emmett Till in an interview for Look magazine. Yeah, I know double jeopardy is a thing, but that's awful. Carolyn Bryant Donham has never been prosecuted for her part in Emmett Till's murder. Mamie and Gene Mobley married in 1957 and remained together until Gene's death in 2000. Mamie passed away in 2003. Well, the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act was signed into law on March 29, 2022. Better late than never, I guess, but yeah, at least it happened. We dedicate this film in loving memory of the life and legacy of Ms. Mamie Till Mobley. And that, I believe, is the movie Till. Alright, see if there's anything in the credits, and then we'll wrap the video up. Alright, thank you guys for watching my reaction to the movie Till. Oh, so much to take in there. There were lots of moments in that movie where I just couldn't talk. I knew the story going in. Like, I've never actually, like, watched the story being portrayed on screen. There were some details that I knew, like, I knew that his body was unrecognizable, and I was prepared for that. I wasn't necessarily prepared for what exactly it was going to look like. Like, I have seen the real picture as well, but just the reaction to it is... Ooh. That took me somewhere, man. So much has changed since 1955. Like, that was just kind of the beginning of the civil rights movement. Like, we had, you know, the Rosa Parks sitting at the back of the bus about a year later, I think. And then the killings of Dr. Martin Luther King and, you know, Malcolm X and Medgar Evers, who we saw in this movie. Like, there's so many moments in the civil rights movement. And this is just one of the first. And it took a 14-year-old boy who may not have been totally innocent. I mean, I don't know what exactly happened in the store. I don't think anybody knows exactly what happened in the store. Maybe something happened that made that woman legitimately uncomfortable. Like, she wasn't assaulted. She wasn't in any danger of her life. Maybe he didn't know exactly how to talk to a woman, but that's not because he was black. That's because he was young. When you're that age, when you're like 11 to 14, you know, it varies depending on the individual. And I don't know how good sex education was back at 1955 as well, but it's around the time where you start having those feelings and you're starting to figure out what exactly is going on there. You know, he thought this woman was attractive and he let her know. Maybe not in the right way. I don't know. Like, I wasn't there. None of us were there. It's no excuse to hurt a child, much less kill a child. When you're that age, you're just starting to have crushes on people, and you might have crushes on someone older. It might be a celebrity, or it might be, you know, someone you know, like your teacher or whatever. Like, yeah, I remember my girl. There was a whole subplot about Veda having a crush on her teacher. Not to spoil the movie, I don't want to, like, say what happened at the end of that movie, but just in case some of you haven't seen it. But the very upsetting thing happens to her, and she goes to her teacher and finds out that he's engaged. And I don't want to get too far away from, you know, the plot of this movie, but young people get crushes on older people. Sometimes they keep it to themselves, sometimes, you know, they tell their friends, and sometimes they're bold enough to actually tell the person. Emmett Till was probably bold enough to tell Carolyn Bryant. And, you know, rather than make it a learning experience, like, or it's not appropriate for a child to speak that way to an adult, let the child learn. Like, maybe the woman was a little uncomfortable, but in the grand scheme of things, it was not that big a deal. You could educate the child, and the child gets to move on with his life, and so does she. Instead, you know, a family is destroyed forever. And these two assholes get a slap on the wrist. So, I mean, yeah, you could say that Emmett Till, you know, could have been acted differently towards her, but it doesn't hold a candle to what happened to him. And for it all to come down on the mother, like, you're faking this, you and the NAACP are, you know, staging this for some kind of civil rights whatever, and we don't know who that body was, it could have been anybody. It just shows you how bad it was down there, especially in the South, where people just genuinely didn't care. And it shows you how far we've come since then, like everything Mamie Till did, like that anti-lynching movement that came along way too late, but it did come along, thankfully, and just getting that story out there so people know what's happening, you know, so other black people can watch their backs, I guess, and know the dangers of these Stone Age attitudes. I wasn't there, I didn't live in 1955, but just watching that on screen just took me there, and it's like, I could not imagine wanting to hurt a child like that. I mean, I don't have any children of my own, but I work around children. If I heard of someone doing something like that to one of my children, white or black, I just can't even think of it. I guess I should talk a little bit about the movie. I mean, I'm talking so much about what actually happened back in 1955, and, you know, while that's important, you know, this is a movie review channel, and, you know, I do want to critique the movie a little bit, too. Yeah, the cast was very well done. They really made us fall in love with that family early. Like, Jalen Hall, kudos to you. I'm sure you have a very long career ahead of you. Danielle Deadwyler was great as the mother. She's not someone I've heard of before, but she's a very great actress. I'm sure we'll be seeing her in a lot of things too. I don't know if... Let me see if she's been in anything I've seen before. Whoopi Goldberg in that supporting role as the grandmother. I think she's a producer on this movie too, so she's done a lot of movies like this, like Color Purple, which we watched a year ago, and Ghost of Mississippi, which I've talked about before. That's definitely a movie I recommend. Danielle Deadwyler. I haven't really... Yeah, I'm looking down her credits, and I haven't really watched anything else that she's done. There's a movie, Gifted, that I think I've heard of. As far as TV goes, she was in a few episodes of Watchmen, it looks like. But yeah, I'm really not familiar with this actress, but everyone should be familiar with this actress. She did a great job. Like even the racist white people, I was kind of convinced that we were back in 1955 Mississippi with all those people too. So the casting was very well done, the directing very well done. Chinonye Chukwu was the director. Kudos to her. I don't know if this movie won any awards, but I'm just searching. It has a 96% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which is... It seems like everyone who's seen this movie was intrigued by it. Yeah, I'm actually seeing this little bit on Wikipedia right here. Despite receiving nominations in several other ceremonies, Deadwyler was controversially not nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress at the 95th Academy Awards, prompting Chukwu to criticize the film industry, Chukwu being the director, for upholding whiteness and perpetuating unabashed misogyny towards black women. In the wake of this decision, widely considered a snub, film critic Robert Daniels of the LA Times lamented how the film industry at large fails black women, with the lack of a nomination for Deadwyler or for Viola Davis in The Woman King, the same year, I guess, serving to exemplify this. Yeah, I was saying, I didn't think this movie did anything at the Oscars. It's a shame. Not only for the movie itself and for the portrayals in this movie, but this is an important story. People need to know this story. It doesn't seem like a lot of people actually watch this. More people should have. And the publicity of being at the Oscars would have been amazing for a movie like this, and for a story like this, and for the legacy of Emmett Till, and for Mamie Till, and everyone involved. Like I was saying, such an important movie, such a tragic story, but people need to know this happened. And the sad truth is, there's still so many people who would rather we forget something like this happened in the world. So, I don't want to get too much on a soapbox here, but what a movie, and this movie was so underrated, and, it should have gotten more attention than it did. In any case, thank you guys so much for watching my reaction to the movie Till. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Check out my sports vlogging channel, JordangeVision Sports. And once again, this is Jordan saying you can be productive sitting at home on your couch. All you need is a TV, a great catalog, and a vision. This has been JordangeVision. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you next time. Take care, and bye-bye.